On Larry King Now, Australian music sensation Troye Sivan. How would you describe your music?
I mean, it's pop music ultimately. You know, I've been obsessed with pop music since I was a little kid. Around probably 14 or 15, had this mind-blowing revelation that pop music can still be interesting and still be cool.
What was it like to be on the cover of Rolling Stone at 20?
It was pretty insane. It kind of, I was questioning a lot that day. Like, I don't really know what my next goal is that I really want to do.
Social media is changing us all, right? Is privacy gone?
It's all in our own control, you know, what we post. I think that that's the part that you have to watch is you just have to be aware, because if our privacy is gone, it's only at our own fault.
Plus.
And now with the internet, they can, you know, have, I don't know, the most homophobic parents in the world, but go online and see, you know, a YouTuber, a gay YouTuber, or, you know, watch, I don't know, watch some TV even. You know, I think it's representation in the media that's really opening people's minds at a much, much quicker rate than it ever has happened before.
All next on Larry King Now. At only 20 years old, Troye Sivan is already making his mark on the music world in a big way. In 2014, his debut EP album went on to #1 on iTunes in 66 countries and reached #5 on the Billboard 200. Troye has followed up with his first full-length release, Blue Neighbourhood, which quickly found itself in the top 10 on the Billboard 200 and helped secure him a spot on the cover of Rolling Stone Australia. Troye also has more than 4 million subscribers to his incredibly popular YouTube channel, which features music and commentary. His album, Blue Neighbourhood, is available now. What was it like to be on the cover of Rolling Stone at 20?
It was pretty insane. It kind of, I was questioning a lot that day. Like, I don't really know what my next goal is that I really want to do. I feel like that's kind of been
Too
the
soon.
pinnacle, yeah, for me for a really long time. So
now you can write your autobiography.
Right, I guess that's next, yeah, a memoir or something.
You started as an actor in the X-Men movies, right?
Well, I was actually singing before that, and then kind of fell into acting. A manager found me from LA, and I was like, you know, living in Australia, so that was the coolest thing in the world to me. But he had done more theatrical stuff than he had music, and so he wanted to know if I would kind of give acting a try, and I did. And it was actually the first audition that I ever did was for Wolverine, and ended up getting the part. So yeah.
How did the YouTube thing come about? Did you do that out of your house?
Yeah, I did it out of my house. I basically got a call from my cousin who lived in South Africa in 2007. So YouTube had only really been around for about a year.
You're from South Africa, really?
I was born there, yeah. And he told me that he had seen a video of me on the internet, and that was a really foreign concept to me at the time because I didn't know what YouTube was. And so he told me to check it out, and I did, and just realized that there was this kind of, it had like a couple hundred views, and I realized that there was this potential to put yourself out there and people from all around the world could hear me sing. And so, yeah, I uploaded my first video in 2007. And
what do you think made it for you?
I'm not really sure. I think I spent a lot of time on the internet as a viewer and as a fan, and so I think I realized from doing that kind of what was working and what wasn't, and kind of thought it out pretty thoroughly, and was quite calculated about you know, which songs I would cover, or you know, what videos I would. And then after a while, I kind of realized that I wanted to build more of a connection with the audience than, you know, just turning on the camera, singing a song and turning it back off. So I started making these vlog videos where I would just sit and talk to the camera about, you know, whatever was going on in my life, and that's when, you know, I started to kind of build that more personal connection with the audience.
Do you make money with that?
Yeah.
With advertisers?
Yeah, so you can put ads on the YouTube videos, or, you know.
You have your own channel? Mm-hmm. So what else do we see other than you?
Not much, really, to be honest. Yeah. It's. I mean, now it's a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff for a lot of the music. Yeah, you know, behind the scenes.
Social media is changing us all, right? Is privacy gone?
I think to a certain extent, yeah. You know, but at the same time, it's kind of it's all in our own control. You know, what we post. I think that that's the part that you have to watch is you just have to be aware, because if our privacy is gone, it's only at our own fault.
You've been praised by people like Adele and Taylor Swift. Over the past year, your global profile has grown tremendously. That must flip you, right?
Definitely, yeah.
Do you know either of them?
Not personally, no. So, you know, I've been listening to their music for a really long time, so it's pretty surreal.
Now, Blue Neighborhood is the first full-length album. Recorded for what company?
So I'm signed to EMI Music in Australia and Capitol Records in the United States.
And what's the theme of Blue Neighborhood?
Well,
Interesting title.
It's all autobiographical, and I come from Perth in Australia, which is kind of an average-sized city. But within that, I come from a very, very small community, and I think I kind of have this dreamy, ethereal kind of vision of Perth in my mind, and it became such a theme throughout the album. I was away traveling when I wrote this album. I was in LA and New York and London and stuff like that, and so I think I ended up just missing home a lot and writing about it a lot more than I thought I would, and all of the stories in the album kind of take place in that setting in my mind, and so it just, I thought it'd be appropriate to call it Blue Neighborhood.
You adult before your time?
I've been working since I was really, really young, but
Pretty mature.
It doesn't feel like work to me, so I don't know. I still feel like a kid.
You said the album's all about boys?
Pretty much. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in there about boys, but there's also stuff about family and friends and home, but yeah.
Why did you choose to be open about being gay?
Well, so it was before I got signed to my record deal, so it wasn't a conscious effort to kind of, do anything, musically related about it. It was more just that I came out to my family when I was 15, and then I had the thing that kind of inspired me to come out to my family and kind of gave me that initial strength was I went onto YouTube and I watched a bunch of coming out videos, which are basically just videos of people, telling their story, or maybe they set up a camera while they tell their parents, and those videos kind of made me realize the different kinds of reactions that you can get, but ultimately it just gave me hope and strength. And so I came out to my family and then kind of just became so comfortable over the years, and at the same time it built up a YouTube audience of my own. So I just thought, it was kind of my opportunity to give back to the community.
How did your family react?
They were super supportive, thankfully.
Were you surprised?
No, not really. Yeah, I think I knew that my parents were going to be fine with it, but it was still the scariest thing.
Have you had any backlash?
I mean, the internet is a funny place. There's definitely, always going to be people saying things, but yeah, ultimately it's just been like overwhelming love.
Are you surprised at how quickly the change has in America? What about in Australia?
Definitely, yeah, it's happening.
How do you explain that happens so quickly?
I attribute it to the internet. I think that, in the past, a kid being raised by maybe homophobic parents had no way to learn any other, alternative. And now with the internet, they can, have, I don't know, the most homophobic parents in the world, but go online and see, a YouTuber, a gay YouTuber, or, watch some TV even. I think it's representation in the media that's really opening people's minds at a much, much quicker rate than it ever has happened before.
Went so from being ostracized to accepting marriage.
Right.
In a flash.
Not in Australia yet, unfortunately.
No,
but yeah, here.
It's not legal in Australia?
No, not yet.
Do you expect it to be?
Definitely, yeah. I think, really soon.
When we come back, Troye is put in the If You Only Knew hot seat, and we'll talk about his music. Don't go away. We're back with Troye Sivan. What did T-R-Y-X-E mean?
It was my name, Troye, but just with an X in the middle of it too. I basically, I hadn't told anyone that I had been signed to my record label. I hadn't told anyone that I was professionally working on music, and I felt like there was kind of this side of me that had been kind of censored for so long, and the EP was about kind of revealing that to everyone, and so I used the X to kind of censor my name and hopefully create some kind of mystique around the music.
How would you describe your music?
I would say it's pop music ultimately. I've been obsessed with pop music since I was a little kid, but at the same time, I think I kind of, around probably 14 or 15, had this mind-blowing revelation that pop music can still be interesting and still be cool, and doesn't have to necessarily undermine the audience and like hit them over the head with the chorus or whatever. So I think, pop music, but slightly alternative pop music, hopefully interesting pop music.
You've worked with artists too, right? There's artists on the Blue Neighborhood album, right? Alex Hope and Betty Who, right?
Right.
How did that come about?
So Alex Hope was a co-writer of mine across a lot of the album, and she's not a singer, but she has a beautiful voice, and I don't know why she's not a singer. And so we wrote this song, and I kind of forced her to go into the booth and record some vocals on it. So,
Troye, how have you dealt with at such a young age being so famous?
I don't know. I mean, when I go home to Perth, I don't feel famous. I feel just like any other kid there. You know, I think that it's such an important part of my life and such an important part of keeping me sane and grounded and reminding me of what's actually important in life, you know, family and friends and having that security. So I think that that's kind of the way that I've managed to stay a little bit sane.
My son played baseball for a couple of weeks in Perth last year. He loved Perth.
It's
the
so
West
good.
Coast, right?
Yeah, the West Coast, it's the most like beautiful place in the world. I'm biased, but I love it.
Does it have the same weather as Sydney?
Better. It's like always warm. Yeah.
Okay, we'll play a little game of If You Only Knew.
Cool.
Right? I just throw questions at you. What's the first car you owned?
I actually don't have a car. I still don't have a car.
Do you drive?
I do drive. I drive my parents' cars.
What's a superpower you wish you had?
I wish I could go invisible and like walk through walls.
Me too.
Yeah.
Well, proudest accomplishment?
I'd say the Rolling Stone cover.
Artist from yesteryear you wish you could collaborate with?
Amy Winehouse.
Sad story.
Mm-hmm.
What a singer. Mm-hmm. Secret talent?
I have very bendy fingers. I can like bend my fingers all the way back. Do you want to?
Show me. Oh my God.
Sorry.
That's, oh.
Did you hear the click too?
Yeah, I heard it, yeah. If not music, then what?
Probably film or something creative still, graphic design.
Biggest misconception about Troye Sivan?
Probably that I don't know, maybe that I've shared everything. I don't think I have. I think I've got...
There's got to be something you haven't.
Definitely, yeah. You know, I've got a private life for sure.
Favorite place to write lyrics?
Probably Sydney. I don't know. I just find it really, really inspiring there.
Not Perth.
I love it there. No, I don't. I mean, I write a little bit at home, but I like taking time off when I'm at home.
Instrument you wish you could play?
Piano. I can sort of play, but terribly.
Best piece of advice you ever received?
That's a really good question. So I was in Waiting for Godot, the stage play with Sarah McKellen. Yeah.
At your age?
I was 15, and to be honest, I actually think he knew that I was gay. I hadn't come out yet, but I think he knew, and it wasn't much, but he was just
Ian
like...
McKellen?
Yeah, yeah. And,
great, he was here recently. He's a great
cool.
guy.
Such a good guy, yeah. And I don't know if he remembers this or anything. I don't think anyone remembers this except for me, but yeah, he just said, like, he was just like... And as well, I was probably over-reading into it because I was, you know, looking for something, but he like shook my hand and he was like, keep going, you'll be fine, or something like that. And I don't know if he was talking about acting or if he was talking about something more personal. But
did you understand Waiting for Godot?
I really enjoyed it, actually, yeah. I didn't really get to see it because I was backstage, but I would watch it on the TV and I really liked it.
A lot of people don't understand it.
Yeah, no, I liked it.
Artists we'd be most surprised to hear that you listen to?
There's a rapper called Azalea Banks that I really like.
Artist you're most excited to hear new music from?
Frank Ocean.
Favorite thing to do on a day off?
Watch Netflix documentaries, probably.
Most embarrassing moment on stage?
Someone threw a water bottle at my head the other day.
Advice you'd give to young artists?
I would say you don't need to wait around anymore. You can kind of do it yourself.
Yeah, you can.
Out there.
With YouTube, you can do anything. Some social media questions. Molly on Larry King Now blog. What was your favorite song off the new album to write and why?
I would say a song called Heaven that I wrote. I wrote it with Jack Antonoff, who I absolutely adore, and Alex Hope. And it was the only song, funnily enough, about the coming out process that I wrote.
And Gaby on the Larry King Now blog, what's your biggest goal for 2016?
I'm really excited for touring. I leave for my tour in like a week or two, and I'm really excited about that.
Where are you going?
I'm going to like 25 places across the US and then 20 in Europe and Asia and Australia and stuff, so.
Great meeting you, man.
Nice to meet you too.
Continued success.
Thank you.
Thanks to Troye Sivan, great guest. Be sure to pick up a copy of his new album, Blue Neighborhood. It's out now.